Hi.
Hi, welcome back to episode 2. This is the first episode we're recording in the new year.
Yes, it is.
Which
this
is
exciting.
Fitting,
Yes.
based on what we're about to talk about.
Yes. We're going to talk about not sucking. We're going to talk about stopping behavior that you don't want to keep engaging in, decluttering,
Yeah.
shutting the fuck up.
I don't think those words really resonate with me, but the way that it does resonate with me, not the reality engineering thing, like that's great. But the way that it does resonate with me is like reality creation simplified, like creating your desired reality in 2025. This is the simplest path we have found amongst our journey of manifesting and going down a fucking bajillion rabbit holes of how to fix my life. Something that we can start with is like, for the longest time when I was manifesting, I didn't even realize when I was manifesting, I didn't even realize like I didn't know what I wanted.
Oh my God.
Like I did not even realize that because I would
immediately shooting yourself in the face.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, and I would sit there and I remember specifically like the Joe Dispenza stuff.
Oh.
And like for me, like I would read his books and I would sit there and try to do like the squeezing your sphincter and do like the meditations where you're like, get it all the way up to your pineal gland. And like, it's like, at least the way I understood it is you're supposed to sit there and be in the feeling of like what your desired reality was. But I didn't have any idea what that was.
Oh, great.
So I'm like, okay, well, I think I want like money maybe, but I also think I might want to like live
in a
on
cabin
the beach
off
or
the
something.
grid.
Yeah, like
or
I
on the
don't
beach.
know.
Yes.
And so it was like, it would always be this like foggy idea where I'm like trying to envision this reality that doesn't really actually exist. And I just remember being so fucking annoyed by that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was at the first phase 2 retreat and Andre was like, what do you want? And it was the first time someone had just straight up asked me that.
Yeah.
So blatantly, like,
Right.
just what do you want? And I'm like, I literally glitched out. I'm sitting there like, and he's like, well, it might be easier for you to start with what do you don't want?
That's like the Andre-ism.
Yes.
What do you not want?
But it's so helpful because
Yeah.
it was like, as soon as he said that, I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to live in this apartment anymore. I don't want my boyfriend. I don't want to work. I don't want to do this. I don't want to blah, blah, blah. I don't want to chase money. And he's like, okay, great. Like, there you go.
Right.
And then follows it up again with, okay, great. So once you don't have all those things, then what are you going to do? And I'm like, well, I don't know.
I don't know.
And it's like, and he's like, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Like, be there.
That's
in
the
I don't
starting
know.
place. Yeah.
That like realization of just like, oh my God, I actually don't know what I want. When you can accept that for yourself, that's when you let the things that you do want to come in.
Yes. Yes. You're not controlling the whole fucking narrative in the situation and telling yourself a bunch of bullshit stories, because all that is about what you think you want is just stories associated with those things. You know, oh, if I have money, then I can do this. Or if I live in a house on the beach, then I can do this. But it's all made up. You're just confusing yourself. It's a similar experience for me. We had very similar experiences with the whole meditating, Joe Dispenza manifesting experiences. So there's a lot to go into there.
There is a lot to go into with that. But what I was just talking about with realizing what I didn't want, this is something that you can do to create your desired reality in 2025. Like, identify what you don't want. Because when I did that, and not only identify what you don't want, but tell someone about it.
Yeah.
Like, get someone to hold you accountable. Because that was the thing for me, is I said specifically these two things. I remember I was like, I don't want to be in my relationship anymore. And I want to leave this apartment. I want to leave California. I didn't know where I wanted to go. And I didn't know what was going to happen, but I just knew those two things. And I had told Andre that.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll help you. Let's go.
Then you got those
And
things.
it was like, okay, now it's time to shit her off the pot. Like, you get an opportunity to have those things. And I had to embrace the fact that I didn't know what was going to happen. But I knew that I could, like, say no to those things.
Yeah.
That opened up. I didn't, no, because I couldn't have manifested what happened in my life
No way.
the way that it
No,
did.
no.
There's
You can't.
no fucking way I could have orchestrated that.
That's the thing about manifesting, is it's so focused on what you think you fucking want that you're literally cutting yourself off from everything that's waiting to happen for you. You're like, it's got to happen this way. You literally got a text from Andre, and he's like, I'm coming to get you. And then you left your apartment and your boyfriend at the same time and moved out here. Imagine sitting there with your journal being like, I'm going to move into Sam and Andre's apartment, and I'm going to start working with them on phase 2. And never.
No.
Never. Too many stories.
No, I had way too many stories.
Yeah.
No.
You had to figure out what you didn't want.
I had to, and I had to be willing to let go of it without knowing what was going to happen and accept the help.
Yeah. The other day when I was up in front of the team, ironically, the day before Andre had given me the instruction to figure out what direction I wanted to go in with the business. And I came up with something, and I was like excited, like, oh, okay, cool. This is a thing that I can move forward with. And I assumed that at the meeting the next day with the team, I would talk about that. So I just got up in front of everyone, shared my ideas, which I obviously felt nothing about. I mean, it may not be obvious to you, but the feelings in the room were like, no.
Everyone's just like,
okay. And so the theme. And so Andre immediately starts disagreeing with what I'm saying, which gets my ego involved. And this happens with so many things that people think they want. They might talk about it or bring it up, and someone gives them a contradiction or disagrees. So that happened in my experience. And I got this crazy lesson about just being willing to admit that you don't fucking know, but from the perspective of being like a leader. Being able to admit that you don't know what you want in front of people when you think you're supposed to know what you want. Like with manifesting, okay, you think you're supposed to know what you want so you can get it. But when you're looking at it from the perspective of leadership or running something, being willing to admit that you don't know, super key. So if you're someone who leads things, or maybe you're like a parent and you're leading your family and you don't know what you want for your family, that's okay to admit it. You're not going to lose any friends. You're actually going to open yourself up to a lot of new experiences that will feel great. Like you took a giant shit. So.
Well, and because it's just as valid of a direction to have going away from what you don't want.
Yes.
Like you could be like the fucking leader of your family and be like, you know what? We're not settling for this shit. We're not doing this. We're not talking about this. We're not going to these places. This is not what we're doing.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And like just doing that in itself is you're still leading. You're putting a direction.
Yes.
It's just it's being open to what could happen rather than being like, okay, we're picking this one goal.
Yeah.
And you all have to follow it because you all have to follow what I say. And no.
Here's what we're not doing. We're not doing this thing where we run in circles again for another year.
Yeah, no. You can put a direction based off of what you're not doing. And then you open yourself up. Like it's like, okay, this analogy is perfect. It's like when somebody like your partner or your friend is like, what do you want to eat for dinner? And you're like, I don't know. I don't care. Or I don't know, or I don't care, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, ugh, whatever. Like, I don't want to make the decision.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, what about pizza? No, I'm not feeling pizza. Okay, what about Chipotle? No, I'm not feeling Chipotle.
Chinese?
Yeah.
No. I want something else.
And then they're like, what about ice cream? And you're like, actually, yeah.
Ooh.
You didn't have to know what you wanted. Your experience literally just kept giving you shit, being like, are you going to respond to this? Are you going to respond to this? Are you going to respond to this? Until eventually,
sure.
Yeah, that actually sounds good.
Nice. Yeah, let's go with it.
Like everyone has had that experience. You have had that experience with someone in your life being like, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? Your whole life is like that. So when you just pick things and go, no, I don't want that. No, 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 no. You open yourself up every single time to a new experience.
Yeah.
But when you sit there and focus on the thing you don't want and you're just like,
I hate this.
I just really wish this would change because I want it to be different. You're basically like, your experience doesn't understand the difference between want and don't want. So it's just like,
what are you putting your focus on?
Here's more. Here's more. You're responding to this. We'll just keep giving you more. You must be enjoying this experience. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. You love this, don't you? Here's some more of it. I fucking hate it. I always laugh when people talk about, oh my God, I hate this. I hate that so much. No, you don't.
No, you're obsessed.
You're
That's why I
obsessed
keep
with
bringing it up.
That's why it keeps happening.
Over and over.
Yeah. Oh my God. So the next point that we could go into, unless there's something else you want to talk about, is decluttering. Letting go of shit.
Oh, holy Lord.
These are like, holy Lord. These are, hopefully you picked up on the first thing is to identify what you don't want. Second thing, declutter. Literally get rid of shit. In your house, in your car, in your closet, in your mind, in your body, like just get rid of it.
In your phone, all of your subscriptions that you don't use, your gym subscription where you're like, someday I'm going to go back to the gym.
It's a good deal. It's $15.99 a month.
Fine.
Even if I'm not going to the gym.
You know, yeah, it's good.
Right.
Any of those, like anything that you have that's just a straggler in your life. I remember the first time I cleaned out my fucking camera roll of photos. And I literally had a Google photo backup storage since 2013.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I never look at these.
Yeah.
Why is this here?
Over 10 years ago.
So I could go back and have a nostalgic moment at some point.
You are a sucker for nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I had to get rid of it.
Declutter that shit. Goodbye.
And when I deleted that whole camera roll, I remember I literally sat there and I was like, oh my God, I've never heard my intuition so clearly before. Because you don't realize that that is taking up so much energy. Even if you don't look at it ever or even think about it, you know that it's there.
It's still there. Yeah.
If someone asked you, do you have photos from high school? Yeah.
Yeah.
You would know that it's there. Mm-hmm. So that means it's taking up energy.
No, I got to go dig for them. Let me go find them. Or you could just say, no, they're not fucking there. I don't have them. Space.
Ugh. Or every time when you get ready in the morning and you're looking at everything in your closet and you're like, ugh. Going through all this shit. Like literally going through all this shit, like being like, oh, I hate this, but still leaving it there. Well, maybe I'll wear it someday. You haven't worn that shit in 3 years, bruh. Right. Why? When are you going to just spontaneously change into a different you that wears that? You're not.
So just get rid of it. When you're fucking digging through the Tupperware, this is my house growing up. Digging through the Tupperware cabinet, trying to find lids and bottoms that match, and none of them fucking match. Just get rid of all of it. Throw it all out. Just start over.
You need to start fresh. Go to Costco and just get a new set.
Get a new set of Tupperware. Yes. Literally start over, okay? You're holding on to all this shit that is just creating clutter and confusion in your experience. You're good.
Yeah, I'm just like it gives me that throw up feeling to think about. I had so much stuff like before I even moved here. Mm-hmm. I ended up getting rid of so much stuff stuff that I've even thought about since then and been like, oh, I remember when I had
used
that.
To have that, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If I'm still even thinking about that now, imagine if I still had it. Mm-hmm. How much energy that's like. That is the that is the whole thing. It's like, okay. Also, another point on this. Not only when you declutter something, not only are you getting rid of the thing. Like for example, you have a T-shirt that's an old T-shirt that like your ex got you. Yeah. Let's say.
Never wear.
Not only are you getting rid of the fucking T-shirt that's taking up space in your closet that you never wear, but you're getting rid of the story. Because every time you look at that T-shirt, whether you realize it or not, you're going, oh, wait, yeah, my ex gave me this. And then you have these memories come back, and then you're living in this reality that's not even happening anymore.
Right.
Every single time.
All your energy.
That happens with every single thing that you have. There's a story attached to every single item.
So the thing you were saying about not being able to hear your intuition, yeah. If you struggle with your intuition, it's because you got a bunch of shit clogging it up. And it could be literally anything. Yeah. I've even gotten rid of stuff that I was still using that I just didn't feel anything about anymore. Oh, I should have this because it's helpful, it's useful, blah, blah, blah. But I feel nothing about it. This doesn't resonate with me. I still got rid of it. So, yeah.
So those are your 2 steps.
2 steps for 2025 to stop bullshitting yourself.
And like to just be open to what can happen. Like a lot of times when you get rid of stuff or you stop a behavior, right? Like you stop something, like you're identifying these things you don't want. You're like, I don't want to be eating sugar or whatever it is. So you stop that, but you're like, I have to replace it with something else. Don't replace it. Get okay with creating that extra space for yourself and just letting yourself be open to what could happen. Because when you do that, you're not just running around over and over again, replacing one thing with another, doing the same shit, same behavior, but just with something else. It like looks different. It's like getting a new job.
No. Good. I really don't want to work a job for my life. Gets a new job. Great.
It'll be a different job and then it'll be better.
Right.
No, it's going to be the same. So don't replace the behavior. Don't replace the thing. Be okay with that extra space, and you'd be surprised at what pops into your experience.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more Phase 2 videos, and we will see you next time.